Hi, I'm Christian-Sallis, and I'm the Voting Rights Field Director at Civic, Nebraska. And today I'll be running through 5 key voting rights that are important for you to know as we head into this election. So, voting right number 1, you have the right to receive a ballot. So if you were to run into any issue with your vote by mail arriving in time for you to cast it, or getting lost in the mail, or any type of issue, every registered voter has that right to receive a ballot. So what does that look like? That means that you can still have the option to go to your polling place and cast what's called a provisional ballot. That's right number 1. It's very important you know that going into this election. Right number 2, you have the right to cast that ballot. So between 8 a.m. and 8 p.m. if you're in Central Time, and 7 a.m. and 7 p.m. if you're in Mountain Time, you can go cast your ballot. That's also the window you have if you haven't returned your vote by mail ballot yet to get it into a drop box or to the election commissioner. And if you're voting in person, if you're in line by either 8 p.m. when we're talking Central Time or 7 p.m. when we're talking Mountain Time, you have the right to vote. So stay in line and don't get out of line, because you are going to be able to vote. And if you run into any issues, you need to reach out to Civic Nebraska immediately so that we can help you. Now, the next right is going to be made a little bit easier because most of you should be voting from your home. But the third right is that you have the right to privacy when you cast your ballot. That's one of the great things about our elections is we have what are called secret ballots. So I know who I voted for, but no one else has to know unless I decide to tell them. So that's really important that you know that and you appreciate that that's a right that you have and that you protect that right. Right number 4 is going to be the right to vote free from intimidation, which is so important so that we can know that your vote is your vote and no one else's. So if you ever have any issues with feeling intimidated about how you cast your ballot, especially when you're at the polling place, you need to reach out. So that's a problem that we can help you solve, and know that is not okay for you to in any way feel intimidated while you're at the polling place or even while you're voting from home. And right number 5, there is no voter ID in Nebraska in most cases. So what that means is for the broad majority of us, when we show up to vote, we can just go in and be able to cast our ballot the way we should be. Now, the one exception is that if you're a first-time voter who registered to vote by the mail application, and when you sent in that mail application, you didn't include either your driver's license number or your social security number. But beyond that, there is no voter ID. Say it with me. There is no voter ID in Nebraska. And for people who do fall in that very narrow category where they may have to show an ID, there's multiple forms of ID you can use. It's not just a driver's license. You can use a bank statement, a utility bill, anything that's going to have your name and your address where you're registered to vote at. So those are 5 quick voting rights that you need to know heading into the election. I hope everybody is staying happy, safe, and civically engaged. And reach out if you want to help us get out the vote at Civic Nebraska. Thank you.